Sometimes there's a falling out with one. Should we give up on it? No. One example I'd like to share is the relationship between Korea and Japan. It is ironic that the two countries are right next to each other, but at the same time, they have an uncomfortable relationship. This should not go on like it is now. We should try our best, and today, I'd like to propose some ideas that might inspire some change. There is no discomfort without a reason. There are two big historical reasons the relationship is shaky. Let me give some background. First of all, Japan colonized Korea in the 1900s. And at that time, Japan treated Korea unfairly. The example that describes this the best is the comfort woman. During the time of colonization, Japan was in the World War II. Due to many reasons, such as disease, desire, or stress, or whatsoever, they took Korean women by force and used them as sex slaves. This was against the this ignored the human rights of Korean women, and is an incident we should never forget. Even worse is that Japan have never admitted their fault or apologized sincerely. Next will be one small island between the two countries, Dokdo. Dokdo is very important to Korea because it is so close to us. For thousands of years, Dokdo was known as Korean territory. But back in the 1800s, when Japan was stronger than Korea, they took Dokdo as a military base against their war against Russia and never gave it back to us. This was against the international law, and the debate on Dokdo still continues to this day. Even though the two countries do not have a smooth relationship, they've been having a brisk interaction. Every year, 3 million Koreans and Japanese travel to each other's countries. Maybe you're one of those who's been there too. And the amount of Korean students studying there is the second largest of foreign students studying in Japan. Also, lots of Korean students study Japanese. By looking at these facts, you might think that the relationship is close enough, but considering the fact that the two countries are the closest countries geographically, this is never enough. Now, let's get into the main points. First of all, we should change how we think about each other. Both countries continue to hold long-held stereotypes for a long time, and we should get rid of this quickly to help the relationship grow. For instance, some Koreans think that Japanese love and live and think about the fantasy world too much. This might be true to an extent, but not for all Japanese. On the other hand, I've heard that some Japanese think that Koreans love kimchi, love spicy food, or do taekwondo. But as you all know, this is not true. Am I right, Julie? So, we should get rid of stereotypes quickly. Next, to make the first statement even more stronger, we should have more chances to communicate with each other. There are many ways we can communicate, but the best way that I think is food. Eileen, what's your favorite food? I can't hear you. Anyway, food makes people feel good, and when people feel good, they start talking. So, both countries should have more chances to share their traditional food or other foods by organizing food tours such as the Samgyetang party held for Chinese people in Han River Park, which turned out to be a big success. People were smiling, laughing, and enjoying the food. I remember having lunch when I was back in America. He knew nothing about Korea. He didn't even know that the country was divided into two. Thus, I was able to explain to him about Korea, and he understood it a lot. We had a chance to know about each other much more better. By looking at this example, we can see that sitting together and talking is a golden opportunity to know about each other, to understand each other, get rid of stereotypes, and finally, combat ignorance. There is a quote that goes, "Words have power and energy with the ability to heal and to help." by communicating, by using our minds, we can understand each other, get rid of stereotypes, and finally make a bridge between the two countries. This won't be easy, but we must try hard. We are neighbors, important ones, and we should be closer. Thank you for listening.